All right. Well, we still have an endless supply of questions here. And not only that, we still have over 1,000 people who are watching, so it's difficult to cut off. But we'll be doing this again, guys. So if we didn't get to you, wait, you said there was one more thing you wanted to talk about. Did you want to?
What if all those 1,000 people are just waiting for us to end the live chat? What if they're waiting just for that?
They're waiting.
No, there was one thing. I've seen it in the comments come up somewhere. Someone suggested we should talk about it. I don't know if you're aware of this Dutch politician who converted to Islam while he was trying to write a book criticizing Islam.
Yeah.
And someone asked,
genius right there.
Yeah. Someone asked, can you please talk about why such people convert to Islam? And I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Well, I would say I didn't even look very much into it. I think his name is Joram van Klaveren or something like that. And when you look at that person, he was part of the far right, or as we call it, far right political party in the Netherlands that is very much outspoken on Islam. The party that is also led or partially led by Geert Wilders, who is a very, very outspoken opponent of Islam and Muslims. He was apparently not very informed about Islam at all. He was just in this because, he felt for it. And when he decided to get into more, to become more academic and to study Islam more and to write about Islam more, to criticize Islam and Muslims, he decided to turn this into a book. But the thing is, look, the problem here is let's not miss the detail. The problem here is that this guy didn't know anything about Islam at all. He didn't have any knowledge about Islam. It gets even funnier. He then passed his notes about Islam, his critical notes about Islam, to a Muslim apologist and presented these things to him in order to expect some responses from this Muslim apologist. And this Muslim apologist said, hey, your knowledge about Islam, your critical knowledge about Islam is actually about Wahhabi Islam, about Salafi Islam. That is a bad version of Islam. Real Islam is not that. I suggest you read these and these and these and these and these books. So the Dutch politician started to read those books, and no one knows what those books are, and then found himself converting to Islam. The detail here is this person never read the Quran. He didn't read the Quran, he didn't read the Hadith, he didn't read any fundamental Islamic source. He listened to a Muslim apologist and took his advice to read some biased books. A Muslim apologist who calls the Salafi Muslims a religion and ended up converting to Islam. So this person was obviously not a person whom you could trust with any knowledge anyway. I mean, if he had completed his book, which was supposed to be critical of Islam, it would have been probably a very, very poor book. So, and this is usually what we see. I mean, this is usually what happens. It's not that some knowledgeable people study Islam even further and decide that Islam is an amazing religion. It's just that people have a wrong perception about Islam and then get into an even worse perception about Islam and end up converting to Islam. It's also funny that many Muslims use this thing now and try to tell us that oh look, here is a man who criticized Islam but now he converted to Islam because he's a smart man. While completely discrediting people who leave Islam every day. Like Abdullah Samir, for example, who is here watching us, who was an active apologist for Islam and ended up leaving Islam.
Or Mohammed Sven Kalish, who was the first, I think it was the first professor of Islamic studies in Germany, left. He was a convert to Islam, eventually concluded that Muhammad probably never existed and apostatized. I don't agree with his conclusion, but why is that not even the slightest evidence against Islam for Muslims, right? It's like in Islam, anything is evidence for Islam, right?
Yeah.
If when Sinead O'Connor converts to Islam, right, a woman who clearly has mental problems and clearly, obviously has no clue what she's talking about, had no clue what Islam teaches, but converts to it. This is the proof of Islam. Or when Lindsay Lohan was talking about converting to Islam, this becomes the proof, right? That's right. And here
Did you see Sinead O'Connor try to sing the Islamic call for prayer? She was like, "Ashhadu anna Muhammad." She can't even say Muhammad's name. It's converts to Islam.
Yeah. And so basically, anyone who converts to Islam, regardless of what they know, right? They could be the least informed person on the planet, but if they convert to Islam, you see there, this proves that Islam is true. What about all these people who spend years studying Islam and defending Islam even, and leave Islam? What does that mean? It's completely irrelevant. That just shows they're being paid by Jews. And this is just some amazing reasoning. And to you Muslims who are watching, why is your religion like this? Right? Why will you say, hey, this guy who clearly has never read a Muslim source, who read a bunch of Muslim apologetics works that were given to him, who didn't bother to critically examine them and converted to Islam, why is this your new proof of Islam? But people who are far better informed and are leaving Islam, that's of no significance at all. Why does Islam produce so many people who think in these terms? I don't know. All right.
Because it's very fragile.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we should obviously wrap it up here.